Hi everyone, super excited to have a closing presentation here in Bucharest. I just realized that I'm going to be holding everyone from having a drink, so I apologize in advance. But quick memo, this is a very serious presentation, so hopefully you're gonna forgive me for that. So this meeting could have been a Loom is my favorite sentence since last 2 years. Just a quick vibe check here. Who is using Loom? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I will remember you because I'm gonna have questions for you. You are actually going to help me run the live demo. You didn't know that, but now you know. So, I'd love to have more meetings in my calendar. Said absolutely no one ever, right? Is there anyone who likes to spend whole day on meetings? Okay, good. Yeah, don't raise your hand because everyone would ask you, like, why? Well, Atlassian also doesn't like meetings, and they run a great report, so I'm going to share a few numbers with you. But before we go there, if you're like me and you're a little bit introverted, this is how your ideal day would look like if someone would schedule a meeting in a calendar, right? This is a call. That's the thing that we are worried about. I need to prep for the call, and then I need to rest after the call because terrible. However, that's not the reality, and sometimes it happens that my calendar looks something like this. This is actually a real screenshot of my calendar. You can see someone is not respecting my end day, even, and you have just like a little bit of time for actual real work, so it's not ideal. Sometimes these things happen, and then you kind of end up like this at the end of the day, and you cannot do any additional work, which is not good. So Atlassian ran the study across 5,000 participants from 4 continents, and they found out that 78% of respondents said that they have so many meetings that it's hard to get work done. And actually half of the respondents mentioned that they need to work overtime and weekends to actually work on the things that they were asked on those meetings. So that's a big problem, right? Like, we don't want to work overtime. I don't. And 80% of people, of respondents, said that they would be more productive if there would be less meetings in their calendar. Like, that's kind of given, right? But how do those meetings actually end up in that calendar if we all agree that we don't want them there? Like, who is scheduling if everyone doesn't like meetings, but they're there? Like, what's happening, right? So I could ask ChatGPT like to give us some tips, but I was like, nah, we have a great people in our company. I work at Appfire, and I have so many great friends there, and they have a great strategies on how to avoid meetings as well. So I asked them 3 questions. How do you find time for deep work? What are your strategies to avoid unnecessary meetings? And are there any meetings that you know are not relevant, but you attend them anyways? I was really curious about that one, because like, why would you come to something you already know? You're not, like, it's not bringing you much value, right? So this is what they shared with me. Strategies to avoid unnecessary meetings. The first one is calendar audit. Actually, Dom Price from Atlassian, who is a work futurist, he had this very kind of hardcore strategy, I would call it. He decided he's going to cancel all the meetings from his calendar. And he's going to wait 4 weeks or 5 weeks, something like that, to see which meetings were actually important. And it really helped him to trim those meetings he's not supposed to be on, like those update calls and stuff like that, because the team actually figured out they can do that offline, and it saved him so much time. This one is favorite from my team, so like no agenda, no attenda. I'm just not coming to the meeting that has no agenda, which they stopped coming to some of my meetings. I was like, okay, fine, maybe I'll do that. And async first. That's really important, right? Like, we kind of by default schedule meetings, but maybe we should kind of think about to use more of the async tools to prevent having so many meetings. How to find time for deep work. Now, this one is interesting because Appfire is like a global company. We have people from like multiple different countries. So I noticed that, for example, in Spain, a lot of people like to do something that's called defensive calendar blocking, but they do it like quite a bit. So let's say they block like the full morning in their calendar, the whole week. And the only time you can have a meeting with them is in the afternoon, or if you ask them if you can kind of schedule during that blocked time. I find that like quite heavy, right? Because you literally blocked the full morning like forever. No one can have meeting with you in the morning. So what I like to do is every week, at the beginning of the week, I give people opportunity to schedule, previous week, the meetings with me in the calendar, and then I see what are my goals for that week, and I fill those gaps with the deep work, right? And I message there, like, what is exactly that I'm doing and what I'm going to deliver in that deep work time, and that way people also know if they can message me or should not message me to block over that. Cluster meetings, super useful, especially when you're going on a conference and you need to have like full day, no meetings time. What's gonna happen to us on Friday? We're all gonna get half day of meetings. That's what happened to me. So you can cluster basically meetings together. That way you don't need to join the meeting, have 1 hour, join the meeting, 30 minutes, join the meeting. That way you're not gonna get anything done. Instead of that, you can cluster them together, have that one hour and a half, and then you have like 3 hours free for deep work. The last question that I was like most interesting about was, why do you still keep on joining the unnecessary meetings? And one of the most prominent answers to that was, I just can't say no. Like my manager scheduled meeting, like how do I even tell them like I don't, not that I don't want to come, but I don't think it's necessary to come. Why would you schedule that in my calendar in a nice way to your manager, right? So you don't want to, like you feel that pressure that you need to keep on joining. One of the strategies that I'm using for this is, what are we trying to achieve from this meeting? I'm sorry, I'm busy delivering XYZ goal that you care about. Here is the doc that I can give you in advance or like instead of that meeting, and it will answer all of those questions, right? So you can you can prevent having the meeting, but you still should be helpful if it's your manager or any of your colleagues. Sometimes it happens that you are being a bridge in between and you're introducing people. So the meeting is not necessarily good for you, but you need to introduce people and make sure that everything is working the way it's expected. Especially this keeps on happening to PMs, like project managers, product managers, and so on. What you can do there is to do just initial introduction in the beginning, set the goal for the meeting, leave, and get an offline update. So that way you can kind of defer that as well. And the last one is relationship building. Sometimes it happens to us that we have so many one-to-ones in our calendar, and they just keep on happening and recurring, like what you scheduled it maybe 2 years ago, and then you didn't have time to do that cleanup, and you're still catching up with someone who you don't even work with in a team anymore, right? So for that, what you can do is to do maybe bi-weekly meetings or quarterly checkups and so on, so you can like reduce the occurrence if you don't want to lose that connection. And the last question was, have you ever replaced the meetings with async? To which my team said, like, why are you even asking? Obviously, yes. So I have an example here. I was running this like a large portfolio project across 5 different teams, and all of those teams were cross-functional across 3 or 4 different departments. So it was quite large scale. A lot of was going on, and I needed to have like loads of meetings to do the kickoffs, introduce the project to people, do the requirements reviews, check with people on the progress, review, go, no-go meetings, stuff like that. If I would be running all of that online and I would not be thinking on how to save my time, this is how much time it would take me to do all those sessions, which would result to 14.5 hours, right? So that's a lot of time, and I only had 2 months to deliver the project, and I needed to also do like a real work in there. So what I've done instead was I look at those meetings again, and I identify the ones that could be done offline. So the ones that could be done offline, I highlighted with the green, and the ones that need to stay, they have a calendar over there. So usually the ones that are like important, like go, no-go meeting, we need to all agree, we want to be on a call, and so on. So that then resulted in more than a half like cut in the meetings, just for me. So I was really able to reduce the time because I was thinking like what I can replace, what meeting doesn't need to be there, what can be a Slack message, document, Loom, video, right? So really good example, and should be a motivation for you to see how you can cut as much as you can. And I need your help with the demo. So because there's few of you who already use Loom, I was thinking it would be a great idea if I pass you a mic and I ask you what's your favorite feature in Loom, and you will tell me a little bit about it. I'm going to show it over here because I would like to hear also your ideas and what you like, not only what I like, right? So who would like to go first? Okay, Alex?
My favorite feature is that Loom automatically transcribes the conversations and then sends them to a conference page.
Okay, that's perfect. Like you would know, and it's not seeded question. So I have example here. So you said automatically creating the documentation, right?
Yeah,
so
in conference.
What Loom actually allows you to do for the ones of you that don't know, It allows you to record the screen. It's kind of like a plugin in your Chrome. You record a quick video, and you can then edit the video. The great thing about this is because it's an Atlassian product, it also very well integrates with Atlassian products. So it integrates with Jira, it integrates with Confluence. So what you can do after you record the video is you can take an action on it. So as Alex is saying, you can, for example, create a documentation, and you have a few options from like predefined templates. AI is working there a little bit. Hopefully that's going to work. But you can either create kind of like general documentation together with screenshots. It automatically takes them from that video. You can also create more detailed step-by-step. So if you're writing maybe product documentation and so on, this would be a great place to start, and you can then additionally edit. And then you can basically push that to Confluence and create your draft of the doc. If you're creating documentation, maybe switch off your camera. Don't be like me, so your face is not there. But definitely a great starter for you. Thank you, Alex. Okay, we have Faith in back.
Yes. So one of my favorite features in Loom is the ability to remove filler words, because if anyone's attending my talk tomorrow, I use a lot of filler words, so apologies in advance. But yeah, it just makes it a lot more seamless and a better viewing experience for the people that I send it to.
Perfect. Yeah, I do that all the time as well, as you heard me during this presentation. Not good. So you don't need to be a video editor with Loom. There is either a quick like edit button where you can go into more details, but if you just need to quickly send it, you don't have time, you just click here on this toggle, and it basically reduces time, and it removes all the fillers. So you saw that the time of the video actually decreased, and now I'm not doing a, so, and so on.
I like the fact that you can stitch multiple looms together during the edit, because I really struggle to kind of fit everything in one loom, or it ends up being like a lot more editing to do. So it's easier to do one small loom, for example, on how to make a Jira post function, and then create another loom on what that would look like. And then during the edit, you can stitch them together, which is a nice little unique feature.
Wow, okay, thank you. How I can make this demo harder for Nikki?
Yay.
So what you can do is to go to the edit feature, as Dan was mentioning. Now, if you ever edited any video in any editing tool, you might be familiar with this. So on the bottom, that's basically your video timeline. You can click anywhere and you can split it here. And then what you can do is basically just use your keyboard, copy, and then paste. Work. I can't get it to work, but you can imagine. I'm sorry, it's just two screens here. So copy, paste, highlight, and you can basically stitch those two together. Thank you, Dan.
Let's test this part of the room.
Yes.
Ionela here has.
I haven't used it, but I have a question. So can I merge two different videos into one?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but
Oh,
it's quite hard to kind of twist, and this is kind of, I need to be more precise, but you could basically highlight and copy, and I think there would be also stitch somewhere. I just...
yeah, you can click add a clip if you go back.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm cheating a bit because I work at Atlassian.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
oh, here, add a clip, yeah.
And then you can edit it.
Yeah,
So
and then you add like this. It's much, probably easier way. Thank you.
no worries.
So yeah, you can stitch.
So for instance, if I want to create a documentation on how to configure a certain feature on a website, for instance, I could use this. So I would record everything, and then Loom would be able to break it into pieces and also add the, like steps to do it in text and all like that.
Yeah. That's the feature that Alex was mentioning. So you could basically put the videos together, record separately, put the videos together. You can also remove those filler words and so on that you don't want to have there. And then once you are ready with that, you would click on the bottom here, generate document, and you can pick what document you would like. Here, I think for you it would be that step-by-step one, and you will also get a screenshot with like step-by-step guide.
Okay, and sorry, I'll just continue what Ionela, I'll piggyback on her idea. Will it know how to translate just what I'm talking about? Or if I'm pointing at something, it will know what I'm pointing at? So it will know, like, if I'm pointing at something in the image, in order to be able to create those training materials, because it makes a lot of sense for what we are using. to actually show, like, you click on this button, but the presenter never said what that button is, but he has his mouse over and all of that. And then does Loom actually know that? And I have a follow-up question which I wanted to put in the beginning. How secure is this product actually? Where does all those informations go to? Or is it stayed just in the Atlassian?
This is so. This is not. I'm not like engineer like associated with the product. I'm like a community champion, so I'm just very excited about Loom. So this is an Atlassian product. So as secure as Jira or Confluence can be, because it's their solution, and so everything sits in Atlassian database.
So back to you.
Yeah, back there. But like from my testing, it always worked quite well. So I was doing quite a few bug reports. I don't think I'm extremely descriptive with how I report bugs, but I could use that bug report to basically create a Jira ticket. So
it's covered by the same cloud terms and service and security practices, if that helps. So yeah, it's part of the same like agreement you would sign.
But I have a question, right? So we kind of switch to the question things. Can you import from a recording from team meeting into Loom, for example? So pre-recording meeting, and then use that as the seed for the, for the Loom itself?
yeah, you can. So if you have like any video file, you can import it in Loom, and then you can edit it here. So that's what I sometimes do. We record maybe with a colleague if we want to do like a product demo, and we want to both talk in the same time. Not probably recommended, but sometimes happens. So we've done like in the past Zoom, and then recorded it, imported it in Loom, and edited there. Yeah, and in regards to that, on Team 25, Atlassian announced the Loom Note Taker, Loom AI Note Taker, which I'm super excited about. I think maybe our Atlassian friends here are gonna know more about when it's gonna be out or if it's already available, but it's basically a plugin that you can add into your Zoom, and it's gonna take notes for you and then publish the document like Confluence pages. Amazing. That's all we can dream about.
Yeah, it's actually out. I'm using it myself. So now you can configure Loom that it joins your Zoom, Google Meet, and Teams meetings automatically as a bot. And after the meeting is taking the minutes in a Confluence page automatically, so you no longer take those notes yourself. And even more, what I love about it is that it recognizes the attendees of the meeting by their email address, and it's going to assign those tasks in a Confluence page to them as the next steps.
I can confirm, because I receive tasks like that. And because a lot of times Alex is not in the meeting, but he knows everything about them.
All right. So thank you for the demo, and thank you for helping me out with the demo. Amazing. Woo. Applause to you. So just to close it off, Loom was acquired actually by Atlassian a few years ago, and after joining Atlassian, Atlassian reported that 28% of customers had fewer meetings than in the previous year, so really helpful, and they are proving that this tool is helping you to save time and reduce amount of meetings in your calendar, and maybe make work a little bit more fun. Anyways, if you're interested in the Atlassian report, you can scan this QR code. There is more information and numbers about how meetings are bad, and you should use Loom. So please check that out. And that's about it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know. And thank you for participating in the demo.